What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're chilling at $329 almost. Looking at the 4-hour RSI, it does kind of look a little sad. Looks like it might want to come down a little bit, and that's okay. We've had a little bit of a move up from 286 all the way up to 344 almost. It's a decent move. Having a little pullback here isn't a problem at all. Pulling back to previous areas of resistance to find support there, right? That's something that we could expect to see. The 382 is at $320. If we go to 320 and bounce right off of that, that's pretty damn normal. If we go a little bit below 320, probably between like 320 and 318, that's pretty normal as well. So just because we get a little bit below this line, if you see prices just a little bit below there, don't be scared. Even if they do go way lower, like, don't be scared. We would very likely have a higher low and find support regardless. But I am thinking 320 might be where we go. In moves such as this, which I'm expecting to be kind of fast pace as it continues to grow, right? Like I'm talking about the move up, right, up and out of this consolidation phase. You don't have to pull back to the 382 with moves like this. You don't have to. It's kind of something that you would expect, and it would be normal. It can go there. It absolutely can, but you don't have to. You could see support in obscure areas like this whenever you're in the middle of a breakout. But I don't know. I wouldn't call this a breakout move just yet, right? It could be the beginning of one, but it might be too early to say that. We don't have a lot of volume. It's moving up, but it didn't continue, right? No follow through yet, so it might be not fair to say that. At any rate, from a low point to a high point, I definitely would expect 382 is where we're going to go, $320. If it doesn't hit, it's not crazy. It's okay. It's fine. It doesn't need to hit there. And if it goes past it, it's not crazy. It's fine. It's not broken. It'll be okay. So a little bit of downside and then a little bit of upside. I do believe that the FOMC meeting is on the 18th or the 17th or both. I was looking at it actually, and I couldn't find, right, like on the 17th here it says selected interest rates. On the 18th it says selected interest rates. Like, are they going to talk about what they've decided on the 17th and then they'll let you know what they've decided on the 18th? Are they going to go over both? You know, I know they talk about it here and there. It's a part of the discussion every time they meet, but I'm not 100% sure on that there. But anyways, what I'm trying to get to, whether it's the 17th or the 18th of September, right? Let's just say the 18th, because that's what I hear in the space. This is the amount of time that we have left until this event. It's probably going to be a sell the news event. I would expect, being that it's the 15th, we have 3 days left, I would actually expect that we start climbing, right? We start seeing some like stuff like this, but maybe even more strong over the coming days, something that would take us up to like $380 to $400. I was expecting that we would go higher, but we'll take $380 to $400. That's fine. From a high to a low, that does line up right in our 61869 area, even a little bit outside of that, right? And that does match kind of a mimicked move to this here, right? From a low to a high. Low to high, literally even like right above there. So that could happen over the next like few days, right? But if that were to happen, and I were to be right in my call for a move down to 320, because that would make sense off the fibs, then we would probably have to do that today. We would literally have to have a volatile day today where we move down in the first half of the day, and then today would have like some kind of wick touching this area. We'd close back at this area or higher, propelling us further over the coming days before the meeting, which isn't that far away. So expect some volatility, expect some maybe not so boring price action like we've had for the past few days, and I would definitely expect upside to come into play. I was thinking a few days ago, or probably like last week sometime whenever we started moving up, I was thinking that by this time next week, or sorry, not by this time next week, I was thinking last week that by the time of the FOMC meeting, we would be up at this 786, 886 area. That was my thoughts. Because we've interacted with the 618 area twice before already. It, to me, wouldn't make sense to find resistance in this area and then move down when we've already done that. But I do very much expect the FOMC meeting to be a sell the news event. So unless we really go crazy over the next couple days, which we could, it's Bitcoin Cash. It's done crazier moves in a shorter amount of time before. But unless we do that, we might only be here, and in which case we might find resistance here, pull back to the 0.5 or to the 382. Very common stuff to do. And then we can start talking about breaking out of this overall long phase of consolidation that we've been in since April, right? But it's hard to say. I do expect the next, whether we move up to 376, 390, 410, 432, whatever the target may be, I expect it to be exciting over the next 3 days. And I do expect we're probably going to get a little bit of downside today to start the day off. And then hopefully we come back, man. Hopefully it's exactly what I'm calling for. Just like a wick to the downside down to 320, close back up at these prices or higher, and just propel us forward, launch us out there, man. Let's go. But I got nothing else I want to say, right? Kind of like a day like this. Even this would be fine, right? Where it's like it wicked down, you had a red day. Like, that's okay. It can close red, but something that would propel us higher over the coming days, right? This is more or less actually exactly kind of what I'm expecting. This would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, including the day. That's the low, right? I'm not expecting it to take 5 days, but I am expecting a kind of rather big move to take place over the next, it's the 15th now, over the next 3 days, literally. So I've repeated myself enough. I feel like I've gotten the message out there. I don't normally base things off of like news-driven events. I don't like to, but this is a pretty big, I think this is a pretty big event. And whether it meets the expectations of people or not, I expect it to be a sell the news event. It's going to be the same thing no matter what. If it's not sell the news immediately, sometimes sell the news events, the sell the news part takes place a couple days afterwards. Sometimes that happens. I've seen that before. It's not on the day, but 90% of the time, or even more than that, it's like literally right on the day, right during the meeting. That's when you get that sell the news. So any people trading, doing leverage trades, short-term trades, stuff like that, don't take it upon yourself to do it over the next 2 days at the most, and then cut it there, man. You don't want to, even shorting, even if it is a sell the news event, you don't want to short, you don't want to long, because you just never know with stuff like this, man. It can be really crazy stuff. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can get screwed. If you know what you're doing, take advantage of it, scalp, make some money, do your thing, more to you. But I know that most people who watch this channel, they're less experienced in stuff like that. I just don't want anyone getting shredded on the upcoming volatility, which I do expect. Hold on. I do expect we're going to get some volatility over the coming days. So, but directed toward the upside, right? Directed toward the upside for a few days, and then maybe some downside, and then some upside later. So, with all that being said, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.